Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Abhishek Mahajan, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Trump says US will massively blow up major Iranian gas field if it attacks Qatar again. Says knew nothing about Israel's attack on the South Pass gas field in Iran. Arab foreign ministers meet in Riyadh as Iran war continues. Saudi FM says kingdom reserves the right to take military action, terms Iran's actions unconvincing. Stocks end sharply lower as the US Federal Reserve leaves interest rates unchanged. Chair Jerome Powell flags uncertainty related to impact of Iran war, voices inflation worries. Thailand's Anutin Virakul re-elected as Prime Minister after crushing rival in parliamentary vote, becomes the first Thai Premier to be voted back to office in 2 decades. US President Donald Trump has said that the attack on Iran's South Pars gas field was carried out by Israel and the US and Qatar were not involved in it. Trump wrote on Truth Social that Israel, out of anger for what has taken place in the Middle East, has violently lashed out at a major facility known as South Pars gas field in Iran. He added that the United States knew nothing about this particular attack and the country of Qatar was in no way, shape or form involved with it, nor did it have any idea that it was going to happen. He further warned of action if Qatar was attacked by Iran, saying in which instance the United States of America, with or without the help or consent of Israel, will massively blow up the entirety of the South Pars gas field at an amount of strength and power that Iran has never seen or witnessed before. And Iran targeted energy facilities across the Gulf and threatened further destructive attacks after a key gas field was hit. The warning came after Israel killed the Islamic Republic's intelligence chief Ismail Khatib. Tehran, following a strike on its South Pars field, said it would respond forcefully to any further attacks on its energy sector. Iran issued an evacuation warning for several energy facilities across Saudi Arabia, the UAE and Qatar, saying that it would be targeted. Iran's threat of further retaliation came after Qatar's state energy company said a missile strike sparked a fire, causing extensive damage at its main gas facility. Ras Laffan is the world's largest, where the core of Qatar Energy's LNG processing takes place. In response, Qatar declared their security and military attaché in Iran's embassy as persona non grata, asking them to leave the country within a maximum period of 24 hours. Meanwhile, Qatar said Iran missile attack has caused damage at Northern Industrial Hub, though it had successfully intercepted 4 out of 5 ballistic missiles launched from Iran. Moving on, Saudi Arabia hosted a consultative meeting of foreign ministers from a number of Arab and Islamic countries in Riyadh on Wednesday. Kingdom's Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan said Saudi Arabia reserves the right to take military actions if deemed necessary following Iranian attacks on Gulf countries. He accused Iran of trying to pressure its neighbors and says Riyadh will not succumb to escalation.
The targeting of Riyadh while a number of diplomats are meeting, I cannot see as coincidental. And I think that's the clearest signal of how Iran feels about diplomacy. It doesn't believe in talking to its neighbors. It tries to pressure its neighbors. The kingdom is not going to succumb to pressure. And on the contrary, this pressure will backfire. Will backfire politically, will backfire, I believe, morally, and certainly, as we have stated quite clearly, we have reserved the right to take military actions if deemed necessary.
And the meeting was held to discuss ways to support regional security and stability given the Iran war. Foreign ministers from Qatar, Jordan, Syria, Egypt and Turkey and Bahrain attended the meeting. Arab and Islamic foreign ministers meet in light of the ongoing Iranian attacks on countries in the region with the participation of several foreign ministers from Arab, Islamic and regional countries. And the war is into its third week in Iran. Foreign Minister Prasar Bharati yet again reaffirmed that the country's stance on the peaceful use of nuclear energy remains unchanged. Regarding the Strait of Hormuz, Bharati said that after the war, the coastal countries should draft new agreements for ships passing through it to ensure safe and smooth routes, but only if Iranian and regional interests are met. He further underscored that while the neighboring countries were disturbed by Iran's strike on nearby US military bases, the United States bears full responsibility for the escalation, as it was the US that instigated the conflict and marred the region in its current turmoil.
Nuclear doctrine has been a peaceful one, and we have always sought and still seek to exercise our rights to benefit from peaceful nuclear energy. In my view, we need to design new arrangements for the Strait of Hormuz and the way ships pass through it in the future, after the war, so that peaceful navigation through this waterway can be permanently maintained under clear regulations, with consideration for Iran's interests and the interests of the region.
And now shifting our attention towards US, where officials detected unidentified drones above an army base in Washington. Washington's Fort McNair is home to Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth. The officials have not determined where the drones came from, the report said, citing two of the people. The drones over Fort McNair prompted officials to weigh relocating Rubio and Hegseth. However, the secretaries have not been moved. The newspaper said the US military was monitoring potential threats more closely because of the heightened alert level of the US and Israeli war against Iran. And US Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard said that Iran's government remains in place but has been significantly weakened by ongoing US-Israel military operations. In a testimony before the Senate Intelligence Committee, Gabbard added that Iran's conventional military power projection has largely been destroyed, leaving it with limited options. Gabbard said the intelligence community assessed the campaign known as Operation Epic Fury is driving fundamental change in the region, weakening Iran and its network of proxies following years of conflict that escalated after Hamas's October 7, 2023 attack on Israel. She also warned that Iran continues to view the United States as an adversary and remains engaged in active conflict while refusing to comply with its nuclear obligations by denying inspectors access to key facilities.
Prior to Operation Epic Fury, the ICSS's Iran was trying to recover from the severe damage to its nuclear infrastructure sustained during the 12-day war and continued to refuse to comply with its nuclear obligations with the IAEA, refusing them access to key facilities. The ICSS's that China, Russia, and North Korea see the United States as a strategic competitor and potential adversary. Iran has long viewed the U.S. as an adversary and is engaged in active conflict with the U.S.
Now, Tulsi Gabbard also told lawmakers that Russia, China, North Korea, Iran and Pakistan have been researching and developing an array of novel advanced or traditional missile delivery systems with nuclear and conventional payloads that put our homeland within range. She also said that Pakistan's long-range ballistic missile development could include missiles capable of targeting the U.S.
State actors present a risk broader in scope by seeking new capabilities in kinetic and cyber warfare. The United States' secure nuclear deterrent continues to ensure safety in the homeland against strategic threats. Pakistan's long-range ballistic missile development potentially could include ICBMs with a range capable of striking the homeland.
Now, Thailand's new parliament has elected Anutin Charnvirakul as Prime Minister, as per media reports, keeping the Conservative in the top office after his party routed its election rivals. Anutin passed the 250 vote threshold to win the premiership, according to a tally by AFP journalists, as the vote continued. Anutin's pro-military and pro-monarchy Boom Jathai party had its best electoral performance ever in February after 2 rounds of deadly border clashes with Cambodia last year. The third place Pheu Thai party of jailed former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra agreed to join him in a coalition alongside several smaller parties. The 59-year-old millionaire heir to a family construction fortune who championed the decriminalization of cannabis in Thailand was first elected Prime Minister in September. And Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva attended the signing of a new digital statute aimed at restricting minors' access to social media as Brazil moves to strengthen online safety for children. The new law requires stricter age verification and links accounts of users under 16 to a legal guardian, while also mandating platforms to block harmful content and remove material related to exploitation. Authorities say the move follows concerns over online abuse and aims to curb exposure to violent and inappropriate content, with penalties for companies that fail to comply. And Finland has once again topped the global happiness rankings, holding on to the #1 spot for the 9th straight year in the latest World Happiness Report. But even as Nordic nations dominate the index, the report flagged growing concerns over declining well-being among young people in several developed countries. Heavy social media use, especially among teenage girls, has emerged as a key factor behind this trend. Diptanshu Kashyap brings us a closer look in this report.
Finland has been ranked the world's happiest country for the 9th consecutive year, according to the latest World Happiness Report. Nordic nations including Denmark, Iceland, Sweden and Norway continue to dominate the rankings, a trend attributed to strong welfare systems, equitable wealth distribution, high life expectancy and deep social trust. Costa Rica has also emerged as a standout performer, climbing to 4th place, driven by strong family bonds and social connections.
In my opinion, Finland is the happiest country in the world because we have a high-quality education system and a solid foundation for building a different kind of future. There are plenty of opportunities here, and we are close to Europe, which gives us really good positive influences.
The report also links heavy social media use to a sharp decline in life satisfaction among under 25-year-olds in countries such as the United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand and parts of Western Europe. Teenage girls are found to be especially vulnerable as long hours spent on these platforms fuel unhealthy social comparisons. Studies show that adolescents using social media for 5 hours or more report significantly lower well-being. Based on responses from around 100,000 people across 140 countries, the index highlights widening global disparities. Major English-speaking economies continue to remain outside the top 10. This underscores how social stability, governance, and real-world social connections, as much as digital habits, are shaping happiness outcomes worldwide. Diptanshu Kashyap for DD India.
All right, still to come on this edition of DD India Live. India issues a fresh advisory to its citizens to exercise heightened vigilance in Iraq. Chaitra Navratri 9-day Hindu festival begins today, marking the beginning of the Hindu Lunar New Year. And Lionel Messi scores 900th career goal, joins Cristiano Ronaldo.
What we throw away doesn't disappear, it just changes form. Cutting this means changing the habits and systems behind it.
First we went with the awareness. So after that slowly we started doing composting awareness. Then next plastic ban something. So simultaneously here I will tell mainly due to the citizen participation.
When the riverfront development and all that started, that is when you started realizing you're losing everything because it's no longer like it used to be. So that was a thing which caused me to start volunteering and doing what I could.
Quickly became clear that a new turbine would be too expensive for a small one to be installed on that site and not to be profitable anymore.
Back, you're watching Lead India Live. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. Amid the escalating tensions, India issued a fresh advisory asking its citizens to exercise heightened vigilance and avoid non-essential movement. The Indian embassy in Baghdad is closely monitoring the evolving security situation in Iraq, with particular attention to the safety and welfare of the Indian nationals, including those currently stranded. Citizens should remain calm, refrain from acting on unverified information or rumors, and rely solely on official communications. Indian nationals holding long-term visas or resident status in Iraq are advised to remain at their current locations. Those on short-term visits who are stranded may consider returning to India via Saudi Arabia using land border routes. All travellers are urged to carefully assess the prevailing security situation prior to commencing their journey and to exercise all necessary precautions to ensure safety. And Indian Airlines are gradually restoring services to conflict-affected parts of West Asia, with Air India Express and Indigo on Wednesday announcing the resumption of flights in Dubai. In fact, flights to Dubai, while services to several other places in the region remain suspended. Air India and Air India Express will operate a total of 48 scheduled and non-scheduled flights to and from West Asia on Thursday, including 16 scheduled and 32 non-scheduled services. Akasa Air said it would progressively restore select flights in the region after conducting safety assessments and reviewing the prevailing situation. And India's premier platform for the power and electricity sector, Bharat Electricity Summit 2026, began in New Delhi on Thursday. Showcasing India's leadership, scale and innovation in renewables, storage and power infrastructure, the summit underscores the nation's growing role in delivering solutions with global impact. The summit, with theme of electrifying growth, empowering sustainability, connecting globally, focus on shaping a secure, sustainable and resilient electricity future. Speaking at the event, Minister of State for New and Renewable Energy, Shripad Naik, highlighted India's power sector's historic transformation in recent years.
Under the visionary leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Bhai Modi ji, India's power sector has undergone a historic transformation, and that is not incremental, but truly transformational in scale, speed and ambition. Our installed power capacity has more than doubled since 2014, with over 51% now coming from non-fossil sources, enabling the India to achieve one of its NDC target nearly 5 years ahead of schedule.
Now, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh today inaugurated the National Defence Industries Conclave 2026 in New Delhi, focusing on advanced manufacturing technologies and strengthening India's defence production ecosystem. The two-day conclave at the Manekshaw Centre aims to strengthen the integration of micro, small and medium enterprises into defence manufacturing. It also aims to promote adoption of advanced technologies such as automation, artificial intelligence, robotics and smart materials. The initiative aligns with the vision of Atmanirbharta in defence and seeks to enhance India's technological capability and global competitiveness in defence production. Now, President Draupadi Murmu, on a three-day visit to Uttar Pradesh, offered prayers at Ram Temple in Ayodhya and installed a 150-kilogram gold-plated Sri Ram Yantra as part of special religious ceremonies. She was received by Governor Anandiben Patel and Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. Temple officials said the yantra, rooted in Vedic tradition, symbolizes the divine presence of Lord Ram and is believed to generate positive spiritual energy. Crafted under spiritual guidance and worshipped regularly, it will be placed in the temple during an auspicious Muhurat linked to Chaitra Navratri and Hindu New Year. Now, devotees throng to temples during Chaitra Navratri to offer prayers and seek blessings. Chaitra Navratri is a 9-day Hindu festival dedicated to goddess Durga and her 9 forms, marking the beginning of the Hindu Lunar New Year in many parts of India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended his Navratri greetings. In a post to X, Prime Minister wrote, and I quote him here, "Heartfelt Navratri greetings to my family members across the country. May this divine occasion of worshipping Shakti bring happiness, good fortune, prosperity and excellent health to all of you. May the boundless grace of the Shakti Swaroop, Mother Durga, bring welfare to everyone, thereby infusing new energy into our resolve for a developed India. Jai Ambe Jagdambe Ma," unquote. And extending his greetings to everyone on the very special occasion of Nav Samvatsar, he wrote on X, and I quote him here, "May everyone be blessed with infinite happiness, success and good health. I pray that this coming new year further strengthens the spirit of courage, self-confidence and service in everyone's lives. May it also add renewed momentum to our collective efforts towards nation building," unquote. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also extended his greetings on the occasion of Gudi Padwa, Ugadi, Cheti Chand, Navre, Poshte and Sajibu Cherobao. And in the face of surging energy prices arising from the Iran war, US Federal Reserve held interest rates steady and projected high inflation, steady unemployment and only a single reduction in borrowing costs this year as officials took stock of economic risk from the US and Israeli war with Iran. Also, Bank of Canada struck hawkish tones, kept interest rates on hold. The Fed and POC decisions came a day after the Reserve Bank of Australia hiked rates to a 10-month high and warned of material risk to inflation. They will be followed in short order on Thursday by the Bank of Japan, European Central Bank and Bank of England. None are expected to hike rates, but the outlook for global monetary policy has been significantly muddled by the outbreak of the conflict. On stock market, benchmark indices Sensex and Nifty have tumbled in early trade today after a sharp jump in crude oil prices and weak global trends. BSE Sensex ranked 1,953.21 points or 2.54% to 74,750.92 in opening trade. NSE Nifty dropped 580.05 points or 2.43% to 23,197.75. Meanwhile, in a sudden move, HDFC Bank declined over 5% as Atanu Chakrabarti resigning as chairman of the country's second biggest lender, citing ethical concerns. The Reserve Bank has taken note of the same and a transition arrangement is being made as regards the position of part-time chairman of the bank. And Lionel Messi became only the second player in history to reach 900 top-level career goals after scoring in Inter Miami's match against Nashville SC. The Argentina international scored the landmark goal after just 7 minutes at Geodis Park in the CONCACAF Champions Cup last 16 second leg tie. Ronaldo has 965 goals and has made it clear he wants to clear the 1,000 goal threshold before retiring. It took Messi 1,142 games to get to 900, while Ronaldo needed 1,236 matches to reach the mark. And that's all we have in this edition of DD India Live, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek Mahajan from All First here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.
टर 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 सिस्टर बीना का मैसेज